Welcome to my channel. I'd like to talk about another topic today. Let's talk about differences between a person with healthy emotional side and person with unhealthy emotional side. What is unhealthy emotional side? Well, there could be very different reasons for that. The side could be undeveloped. The site could be affected by upbringing. The site could be blocked by chemical imbalance. Could be combination of all the above, and also this unhealthy emotional side could be largely affected by unhealthy lifestyle. So there are many reasons, and most of us do have some kind of emotional issue, limitation that is affecting our life. Let's go into details analyzing how different life aspects, different topics, important life topics, can be seen and interpreted by a person with a healthy and not so healthy emotional side. We live in a very polarized world where the information is often bent to a different kind of reality where a lie is often covering the truth 2 to 3 times ratio, where there's so much misinformation that we don't know where the truth is anymore. But now, when you have a person with a healthy emotional side and another one with not so much, or distorted or totally blocked, these two people will choose very different path to in search for the truth. So a healthy emotionally person will not easily believe in anything. That person will take a pause and do extra steps in analyzing where the information comes from, if it was influenced by a certain group, if it makes sense based on science, based on math, on data, depending what this information is about. And that person will also apply some moral context to it. So a healthy emotional person will go to much greater extent in seeking the truth in any information versus a person who is unhealthy emotionally. That person is easily manipulated. So if that information has some kind of let's say political background or source, and that person is vulnerable in that department, well, that's it. That's it for that person. It's good enough to believe that information, and that information will never be questioned. So that's the difference between how the truth and lie will be looked at by a healthy and unhealthy emotional person. Let's look at another super important aspect, which is self-reflection. We all make mistakes. We all, some more, some less. It's part of our human nature. We're not ideal. But a healthy emotional person will take pause, will self-reflect, because that person knows that mistakes, intentional and unintentional, are part of our life, and taking a break from life to analyze what we've been doing, how we have been behaving, is very important. Self-reflection will definitely be a daily routine, possibly, or ongoing routine for a healthy emotion person. Self-critique, pointing out our flaws, analyzing, and doing something about it to repair damages, to fix the mistakes, because it's very important, not only for that person, but for everyone who comes in contact with that person. Now, unhealthy emotional person, or limited, or blocked emotionally, or confused, that person most likely will never ever do a self-reflection or self-critique, because that person believes I am in the right always. That person is not capable emotionally of self-reflection, of self-critique, because it's too much of a weight. That feeling of looking to the mirror and possibly questioning yourself is too much to bear. And the easiest way for that person is just to tell herself or himself, I'm doing okay, I'm doing good, I'm the right one. Because that emotional side, that person's emotional side, is not able to deal with self admitting guilt. That is just something that this person is absolutely not ready for, or prepare to deal with. So the easiest way for that person is self-confirmation. I'm great. I'm right. Why even bother if I've been doing everything right? So, and this is a very scary situation, because if you come across a person like that, and we all have, I think most of the society has this issue. It's very hard, because everything that we do in life, whether it's small, big things, comes to a point where sometimes, we are wrong, or a lot of times we are wrong, and just having a normal conversation about it, to bring the subject to analyze and maybe make some changes, it's just a normal, healthy part of our life. But unfortunately, when we turn to so many people around, and they have that issue of not being able to self-reflect, admit to mistakes, it's very exhausting, because what is so normal and healthy, being the person who self-reflect, open to self-criticism and constructive criticism, is impossible to deal with for that emotionally limited person. And it's beyond frustrating. Beyond frustrating. Now, what is the next thing that we can talk about? A healthy emotionally person will, in different situations, whether it's seeking the truth, or seeking answers, or being curious, will tap more into intellectual side, because that person understands that sometimes our mind can be, our heart can be influenced by something, but sometimes the hard answer is in the intellectual side, which is the knowledge. So that person, being a little bit confused about something, or not knowing something, will seek the truth, will seek the answer, will seek how to find the truth behind the curiosity that the person has in knowledge. So we'll tap into intellectual side. If that person does know, that person will do the research. It is actually the opposite way for someone who is limited emotionally, because that person, number one, believes I'm always right. Why bother? Why bother going into additional answer seeking method if I'm right? But a lot of times, especially now living with these very politically polarized times, You have many answers right there in the statistics, public statistics. But many people decide never go into those, never seek the answer, even though it's right there. It takes a minute to find out, but they refuse to do it because by doing it, they would admit that they have to question herself or himself, and this is something they can't deal with. Their ego is very high, and any possibility of admitting any kind of self-guilt is never on the plate. A person has to be always in the right in his or her mind. Otherwise, that person can't function. So, seeking the truth in knowledge is not an option for emotionally limited or confused person. Now, the two people with healthy emotional and imbalanced emotional side will act differently to what's been happening in the world. They will see things very differently. They will form very different opinions. Now, when they have families, when they raise children, they will pass that approach to their family, to their children, and it is frightening because now living in a world where there is more misinformation, more lies than the truth out there, because people who have been trying to accomplish something have realized that society is generally mostly emotionally broken, limited, confused, and that's a very easy prey for them to pass the misinformation, use that weakness of emotional side to pass any kind of made-up agenda that they use that appeals to their emotional weaknesses. And the fact that it taps into a person's emotional side, the weakness of that emotional side, is everything. So any information, total lie, anything made up, as long as it taps into that emotional weakness of a person, will do its work. And this is what's been going on in the world across the countries. That's how it's been used. In marketing, in politics, unfortunately. Now, another aspect is that I want to talk about is the obsession of material way of living. A healthy emotionally person understands that money is important, but putting money first and making it higher goal doesn't improve your lifestyle, doesn't improve your emotional state, doesn't bring you happiness. And that person usually will adapt with a much healthier lifestyle without constant search and seeking for that higher financial status that makes so many people go out there and just keep buying things, better things, more things, and thinking that this is the way, this is a solution to happiness. This is the ultimate way of how you become a better person or a happier person. This is not true. I have discussed the point of sweet spot, of financial sweet spot, which gives you total freedom of financial flexibility and healthy life. After which, any improvement is minimal and doesn't affect the quality of your lifestyle, and especially the state of mind, the healthiness of your mind. And doesn't bring any more happiness. But emotionally limited, emotionally confused a person with limited abilities to use emotional side in a healthy way will seek an easy way out, often in a financial approach, thinking that that's a solution to everything. I mean, as I have discussed, achieving a financial freedom is important, but anything past that, it's just a sugarcoating marketing tool. Nothing valuable in a long run for our state of mind, for our happiness, to base our life on. Another thing that I'd like to discuss is the rise of social media. Social media has become a driving tool in our way of living, our way of seeing the world, understanding many things, and it has been used in a very bad way, because the social media attacks our emotional side. Anyone with distressed, undeveloped, limited, or confused emotional side will become very vulnerable to social media. Social media gives these people sort of confirmation of their worth, which is totally not the way to go. But instead of taking the time and working on themselves in a way that is healthy, in a way that actually produces long-term results, these people seek validation by likes, by growing a fan base, thinking that this represents their worth. This is the way to be noticed. This is the way to be acknowledged. This is the way to exist in the world. That's a very wrong perspective, a very sad way of looking at ourselves and evaluating who we really are. This is why emotionally distressed people will have a huge screen time, whether it's the phone or whether it's video games, TV. That screen time will reflect their emotional weakness. A healthy emotional person will choose a lifestyle that includes a lot of activities that produce good results for the body, for the mind, because they understand the principle, what a human being really needs to be healthy, strong, emotionally and physically. So that person with that emotional health will make those better choices and on daily basis choose activities that produce long-term good results for the mind and for the body. On the flip side, a person with confused emotional side will stay away from the healthy side, because it requires work. The results are not coming overnight. So it's easier to sit around, use your fingers to flip through pages of nonsense, and keep bringing that temporary dopamine into your body and crave more and more and more every time you swipe into another page. But long-term result from this type of activity is disastrous for our mind and our body. It's a slow emotional death for us to be living in this lifestyle, because with time we become so detached from normal, healthy reality that past a certain point it's almost impossible to see life as it should be. last thing that I wanted to discuss is having conversations, disagreements, and arguments is normal in our society. It happens in our families, with our friends, across social platforms. It is normal to debate, even argue in a polite way between each other. But what happens when you have a person with healthy emotional side debating something, discussing something with someone with a limited, broken, or undeveloped, or confused emotional side? There's almost no way to come to us any kind of logical, intellectual, moral understanding, because these two people are so far from a healthy way that they can both apply to understand each other. It's not about starting a conversation and ending it with total agreement. No, it's about exchanging opinion, exchanging ideas, and understanding how certain point of views apply to our life, to where we're going, how we're thinking, what we are using to base our opinion on. And two drastic emotional spectrums will not have any fruitful exchange. That conversation will not go anywhere, most likely. There will not be any understanding, or even the respect from one to another will quickly evaporate, because as much as the person with a healthy emotional side will try to use all healthy, normal tools available that we have during a conversation, debate, or discussion, the person with limited emotions will definitely try to eliminate, destroy, or argue about, because using those healthy tools will uncover the truth about the limitations of that person. And that is something that person with limited emotions is not able to deal with. So that person will dismiss anything that is normally used, because that person has to focus on his or her being in the right always. So therefore that conversation will go nowhere. That's why we have so many disagreements in the society about issues that are so clear. The answer is very clear, whether it's in the knowledge, in the statistics, in our history, in the science. But emotionally confused people cannot admit to a wrongdoing. They will do everything. They will dismiss everything possible just to stay in their firm stand that they are right no matter what, because that's how it is. They have made up their mind prior to starting the conversation. Their mind has been made up, and there is nothing logical, intellectual, emotional, physical. There's no data of any kind. There's no science, evidence, or of any kind, history, that will open up their mind, because holding on to who they are, closed in their bubble, is all they have. And that is a very sad. That's a very sad state of mind. Unfortunately, we've been living in a in the times where most society has this kind of dilemma, and families are broken into different groups, friends go apart, people stand one against another, where most of the time, if not all the time, the basic truth answer is right there. And all it takes is applying healthy principles. But since so many people are not able to open their mind to possibilities of how much they need to open up to, we're not going anywhere. That's why it is so important that we choose a lifestyle that does positive things for our emotional and physical state of mind. Things that are beneficial for us to see things clearly. We need to get off the phones, get off the social media, never allow the rabbit holes to enter our lives. Exercise, eat healthy, manage our daily routine. So instead of racking up 4, 5, 6, 8 hours of screen time, we keep it to minimum and get out of the house apartment. We walk, exercise, run, swim, have conversations, listen, pause before reacting. It's so critical that we do things that are really healthy for us rather than close our minds and constantly argue that we are right no matter what. I hope that with time, more of us will choose to do the self-reflection and choose the healthy way, because our mind and our bodies are at stake and our future. Thank you.